our justice system is broken, and this kind of bill, again, is a first step to remedying some of that.
Alternatives to addiction. A bill would offer an olive branch to some drug offenders, sending them to treatment instead of prison. But now it's stalled in the State House after spending more than a year in committee. News 5's Olivia Fecto spoke with advocates who say passing this bill is critical.
That bill did not advance out of an Ohio Senate committee this week, but advocates say they hope it will still be passed going forward. Maurice Marbury spent years in prison after an abusive childhood.
What it did was create a sense of resentment for life in me, because I'm continuously told about this God of love, but I'm abused all the time. So I'm like, why me?
He says that led to addiction, a way to self-medicate.
I'm trying to get away from the chaos and the pain, and I see them doing it. So guess what? Let me try that.
For him, the wake-up call came during a prison sentence, but only because of the programs there.
Anger management, NA counseling, AA counseling, you had all these things going on.
So Marbury, now a volunteer with the Ohio Organizing Collaborative, is speaking up so other people in his situation can get treatment instead of prison time.
I'm not talking about the hard criminal that sells drugs. I'm not talking about the robber that made this a lifestyle. I'm talking about the real person that actually has an addiction from post-trauma, from stress and anguish in their lives, abuses in their lives.
The goal is to make sure that we're not putting people in prison who would benefit more from treatment.
Pete Van Leer with Policy Matters Ohio says the bill would allow some people with low-level drug possession charges to have their charges reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor. That bill and House Bill 1, which was passed by the Ohio House last summer, also deal with sealing records.
It's harder to find a job if you've got a felony. It's harder to often find housing. Public housing in particular is an issue.
That's where programs like Open Door come in, a prison reentry program through Y-Haven. It helps people like Thomas C., who spent years in prison but is now a resident at Open Door.
People with addiction need to have somebody to support them and give themselves an opportunity to try to get their life right.
Our justice system is broken, and this kind of bill, again, is a first step to remedying some of that.
Policy Matters Ohio says although that bill failed to advance out of Senate committee this week, there's still a possibility it could be heard again this coming Tuesday and even possibly go to the full Senate for a vote. Olivia Fecto, News 5.